Vaibhav this side, and in this video I want to share with you how you can use your attention to shift from your current reality to your desired reality, the one of your liking. And by the end of the video I am going to share with you one simple exercise to help you to really control your attention and place it where you want in laser focus manner, so that you can effortlessly move toward what is wanted rather than being glued to the version of the reality that is unwanted. This is going to be the continuation of the last video. If you haven't watched it, click up here where I have talked about the alternative space model to give you a context of what I am going to discuss today. So without any further ado, let's get started. So in this video, I want to talk to you about how you can shift your reality from the current one to the desired one. And in the last video, I have discussed the alternative space model. So just to quickly summarize, alternative space is what contains all possible versions of the realities, and these realities are spread into different sectors. Now all these sectors, they have their own version of scripts and sceneries and the lifeline to which they are attached to. So you are going through your own lifeline, and accordingly scripts and sceneries of your lifelines are unfolding for you. So to give an example, if you are in a business, then the script that is unfolding for you is you being a business owner, and the scenery would be you running your own business. Or if you are in a full-time job, then the script which is into the play is you being an employee of a company, and the scenery are you are doing your job and living this corporate life. And again, if you haven't watched the previous video, go give it a watch so that you can have a better understanding of what I am going to talk about in this video, and it will make a more sense for you. Okay, now to further understand the concept of script and sceneries, let's think of your life as a film roll. Nowadays we have these modern equipments in movie theater like digital projectors, but back in the older times, if you know, there used to be a big film reel. The film was projected with a movie projector onto a larger projection screen at the front of the auditorium. So there used to be a projector which had a light and lens to really concentrate the light, and the film roll passed through an aperture or hole which let the light go only one frame at a time. And this is how the whole movie was projected onto the screen, frame by frame, right? Now every frame is having its own script in which an actor speaks, and the scenery, the situation in the movies. No actor in the movie speaks a different script or goes through a different sceneries regardless of how many times you play the movie. It is always going to be the same. In the very same way, if you think of your life, there is a certain script that is playing out on a day-to-day basis, and you are taking up the role of a character in this movie. Your life is unfolding according to the scripts, and subsequent sceneries are unfolding for you. Now the biggest problem here is that majority of the time the script that you have picked up and chosen to live is not of your personal choice. You have just unconsciously picked it up and going through it. So ask yourself this: the life that you are living right now, have you really made this decision to live it, or is just the society that has conditioned you to live like this certain way? If you are in a job, or if you are in a business, is that really what you wanted, or is it just you think that you wanted it because this is how you have been conditioned to, while your heart is craving for something else? Have you consciously made this choice, or have you been unconsciously subjected to live like this? The problem is that we are too attached and too identified with this script because it provides us with this sense of security. Now, what do I mean by that is that, let's say you're in a job, but you have a passion. So let's say you want to pursue some artistic endeavor like music, but you are too afraid to ditch this current script, as you have seen other people doing the job and having a comfortable life. This provides you this sense of predictability and security, because you know that doing a job is a proven method to live a comfortable life. Lots of people in the society has done it in the past, they are doing it right now and will do it in the future. But to really pursue your passion, there is no guarantee to success. As it is portrayed in TV shows, or other people tells you, that artists barely make any money and they die miserably. So you are too afraid to ditch this current script and this old programming to ensure your survival. And in this process, you sacrifice your heart's core desire, right? The script gives you permission to be unconscious because your fate is being predetermined by the script itself. So this is the problem. Your identification and attachment to this current script are really stopping you to shift to the lifeline of your liking, and that's why you feel stuck in your current reality. But what you really need to understand is that what you called your reality is just an illusion. Reality is very moldable. You have full right to choose which version of the reality you would like to experience. But because you are so entangled in the current script, you believe that this is your fate, right? Now, to really understand how you can shift your reality and shift to the lifeline of your likings, let's define what reality really is. So the reality is which never was, nor which never will be, but rather that which happens once and now. What I mean by that is that the past is not the reality and the future is also not the reality, but it is this moment which truly qualifies as the definition of the reality. So we can clearly say that now is the reality. So just like the film reel, that single frame which is being illuminated by the light from the projector, that single frame is the reality. So if you were to look at your life as a film reel and your life unfolds in frame, this moment, this speck of moment is the frame from the reel that is called the reality, right? You cannot change what has happened in the past. You do not have any control over what will happen in the future. But how you live this moment is going to decide how the future frames are going to be illuminated for you, right? So as we have discussed in the previous video, at any point in time, you have the power of choice. You can choose how your life should be and what version of reality you would like to experience. And that choice is propagated in the subsequent frames by the firm decision. Whenever you make a firm decision to experience a different version of the reality, that makes a shift in the lifeline. But how you can make sure that decision that you have taken is strong enough to make the shift? You need something which will propagate this decision in your day-to-day actions for every single day, and that comes down to your attention. Now remember that attention creates attraction. Wherever you place your attention, it expands. But the problem is, most of the time our own attention is not under our control. So just like this light, so let's say this light is your attention and this lens is your ability to focus your attention on the desired outcomes or on the desired actions. If this lens is not functioning properly, you can imagine how the frame will be projected on the screen, right? The image is going to be very blurry, just like this. If your attention is not properly directed and it goes all over the place, you would not have enough ability to redirect it in the direction to really help you to create your reality and propel you in the direction of the desired lifeline. The problem is that most of the time you are focusing your attention on the wrong things. Now what do I mean by that is that, let's say if you are focusing your attention on what is wanted, you are going to attract that in your life. If you are focusing on what is unwanted or what you want to avoid, guess what? You are still going to attract it in your life. So we have three nature of attention. We have the positive attention, then we have the negative attention, and then we have the neutral attention, right? Both positive and negative attention has the power to create and attract your reality, while neutral attention has the power to dissolve it. So the people who are enlightened, they usually possess this neutral attention. They do not segregate reality as good or bad. They just see reality the way it is, because the fact is that reality is inherently neutral. It's how you place your attention on the event and what meaning you attach to it, either positive or negative, that determines how the reality is going to unfold for you, right? So we have three kind of attention, right? Now what I want you to understand is that whenever we have a desire, it always germinates from this place of resistance. What I mean by that is that, let's say you are struggling financially and you want to have more money. So this desire of having more money always stems from this place of resistance, this place of I don't have enough money, so I want opposite of that, right? I want more money. But the problem is most of the people keep putting their attention on what they want to avoid rather than what they truly want to experience. People want to be rich because they don't want to be poor rather than genuinely experiencing what it feels like to be rich. They want to have a relationship to avoid being lonely rather than genuinely experience what it feels like to be in a loving relationship. When you place your attention on what you want to avoid rather than what you truly want to experience, then that becomes a problem, because again, both positive and negative attention has the quality to attract things in your life, because your attention doesn't care about the content of your focus rather than the nature of it. If I ask you to not to think about the pink elephant, all you can do is think about the pink elephant, right? So it becomes very crucial to place your attention in the right direction. So now the question comes, how you can control your attention and redirect it in the direction that will help you to move toward your desired lifeline. And that comes down to really centering your attention. Now what I mean by that is that most of the time our attention is immersed either inward or outward. You can think of it as there are two types of screen. We have this inner screen and this outer screen. When you are so much immersed in your own thought and you are so much into your head that you feel unconscious and your attention then get glued to this inner screen. So think of a time when you are deeply thinking about something and you just forget about everything and your attention is unconsciously and unknowingly placed inward on your thoughts. In the very same way, we have this outer screen. The outer screen is your external surrounding some external actions. So let's say when you mindlessly scrolling and browsing through social media or Facebook, or you are just looking and trying to look for something to watch on the YouTube, or maybe you are just binge watching television. At that time, your attention is glued to the outer screen, the external environment, some external activity, and you even forget about your own existence. Your attention is so much glued onto the TV that you completely fell unconscious and completely lost. So in the both situation, when you are immersed in either the inner screen or when you are immersed on the outer screen, your attention is not under your control. It is being driven by either some external circumstances or your inner thoughts. Now, if you really want to take back the control of your attention, you can do it by bringing it to the center of both the screen. This is what centering your attention is known as. The center is kind of a neutral point where when you bring your attention, now you can consciously choose where to direct it. When you placed your attention at the center, this is where it is free from the outer screen and free from the inner screen. And how you really do it? So this is the process. So step number 1 is set yourself some kind of a trigger. So in my case, I have this smartwatch which vibrates after every 15 minutes. I'm not wearing it right now, but most of the time I wrap it around my wrist. And this is kind of a trigger that reminds me that it's time for me to center my attention. And step number 2, when this watch vibrates, I just take a pause and take a step back from whatever I am doing, and I ask myself 3 questions. Where am I? What am I doing? And where my attention is? Now these 3 questions, when you consciously answer them like, well, I am at my home, I am making this YouTube video and my attention is right now on creating the video. By answering these three questions, what I am doing really is now I am centering my attention and freeing it from the inner screen and the outer screen and redirecting it to the place where it should be. So let's say today I was in the morning mindlessly watching the YouTube videos and I had decided yesterday that I am going to create a video tomorrow. So this watch triggered me and I asked myself these three questions like, where am I, what am I doing, and where my attention is. And I answered them like, I am lying on this couch watching this YouTube video mindlessly and my attention is on this nonsense video. So the next realization that I had, like, this is not what I am going to do. I am wasting my time and my attention unnecessarily here. So where my attention should be, it should be focused on creating the video. And I immediately stopped watching the video and here I am creating video of my own, right? So this is how you use the power of centering your attention and really going from unconsciously doing activities to redirecting it to consciously do the things that matters, that will help you to really inch toward your goals. So just to summarize, very simple exercise, make some sort of trigger for yourself. You can use your mobile phone or you can have a watch like me. And when this trigger is up, you ask yourself these three questions and answer them consciously. Where am I? What am I doing? And where my attention is. And when you do that, when you center your attention, you are really disassociating yourself from the current script and you redirect it to the task or whatever you need to do to inch toward your goal. This gives you the power to consciously create your own reality, and this gives you the power to disengage from the current script and engage with the script that is more of your liking, and hence frame by frame, moment by moment, you start to propel yourself in the direction that is in alignment with the reality that you would prefer, that you would like to experience. And this is how you shift your lifeline, right? And with that, I'm concluding this video. Leave me a comment down below to let me know if that was useful or if you have anything to ask. I will be more than happy to answer them. Guys, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, much love and peace.